Hello viewers, welcome to the lecture series of SSC Quantitative Aptitude. This is your tutor Keshav Agarwal and this lecture on compound interest. So in this lecture, we are going to solve 19 practice questions on compound interest. So let us start with the first question. A sum of money becomes rupees 35,680 after 3 years and rupees 53,520 after 6 years at a certain rate percentage per annum. Interest compounded yearly. So what is the compound interest on the same sum in the first case? So your answer should be nearest to an integer. Let us have a look over the solution. As we know, the compound interest, the formula is given by amount is equal to principal plus 1 upon 1 plus r upon 100 to the power t. So the amount is given to be 35,680 and which is equal to principal plus 1 upon 1 plus r upon 100 to the power 3, that is time. So when you simplify this, you will have 35,680 upon p is equal to 1 plus r upon 100 whole cube, which is equation number 1. Now, for the second case where rupees 53,520 is received in after 6 years, we have, and when we put this money and it becomes 53,520, that means 53,520 and principal was 35,680 for 3 more years. So it will be 1 plus r upon 100 to the power 3, that is 53,520 upon 35,680 equal to 1 plus r upon 100 to the power 3. And this is equation number 2. Now we have two equations and we can use them to obtain the value of p. So 35,680 upon p is equal to 53,520 upon 35,680. When you simplify this, you will have p equal to 23,786.6 rupees. So the compound interest for 3 years is equal to 35,680 minus 23,786.6, which is equal to 11,893.3 rupees, which is nearly equal to 11,893 rupees because it is asked to find the nearest integer. So nearest integer is 11,893. So the option correct here will be option D. Question number 2. A certain amount invested at a certain rate compounded annually grows to an amount in 5 years, which is a factor of 1.1881 more than to what would have grown in 3 years. So what is the rate of percentage? Let us have a look over the solution. Let the principal and the amount be P and 1.1881 P respectively. From 5 years to 3 years, the difference in time is 5 minus 3, that is 2 years. So using the formula, amount is equal to principal times of 1 plus r upon 100 to the power t. So amount is equal to 1.1881 p equal to p times of 1 plus r upon 100 whole square. So it will be p and p get cancelled here. So we will have 1.1881 equal to 1 plus r upon 100 whole square. So the solution will be 1.09 equal to 1 plus r upon 100, which is r equal to 9%. So the option correct here is option A. Question number 3. A sum lent out at compound interest amounts to rupees 1,250 in 1 year and to rupees 1,458 in 3 years at a certain rate percentage per annum. What is the simple interest on the same sum for 5 upon 5 years at the same rate of interest? So let us have a look over the solution. Amount is equal to principal times of 1 plus r upon 100 to the power t. So this is the formula to find the compound interest. How much amount will be received when the interest is compounded. We use compound interest. So it is amount is given to be 1250 and the principal is unknown. So 1 plus r upon 100 to the power 1. So this is equation number 1 and 1458 equal to principal times of 1 plus r upon 100 whole cube, that is equation number 2. So we have equation 1 and 2 and p and r are unknown. So we can divide both of them to obtain 1458 upon 1250 equal to p times of 1 plus r upon 100 whole cube upon p times of 1 plus r upon 100 to the power 1. So which is equal to 729 upon 625 equal to 1 plus r upon 100 whole square. So it is equal to under root 729 upon 625 equal to 1 plus r upon 100. That means r upon 100 equal to 2 upon 25. So r will be equal to 8%. From equation 1, we can obtain the value of p now by putting the value of r. So it will be 1250 is equal to p times of 1 plus 8 upon 100. So p will be equal to 1250 times of 25 upon 27. So again, time is equal to 27 upon 5 and r is equal to 8%. So the simple interest is PRT upon 100. So simple interest will be given by principal, that is 1250 into 25 into 27 into 8 upon 100 into 5 into 27, which is 500 rupees. So the option correct here is option B. Question number 4. A compound interest on a certain sum at a certain rate percent per annum for the second year and the third year are 3300 rupees and 3630 rupees respectively. The sum is. So the solution, the compound interest for the 3 years is 3630 and for the 2 years is 3300. So the interest rate is equal to compound interest for 3 years minus compound interest for 2 years upon compound interest for 2 years into 100. So the interest rate will be equal to 3630 minus 3300 upon 3300 into 100, which is 10%. So the compound interest for the first year is equal to 3300 into 100 upon 110, which is 3000. So let the principal be P. Then 10% of P is equal to 3000. So P will be equal to 30,000. So the option correct here is option C. Question number 5. A certain amount of money at a compound interest grown to rupees 66,550 in 3 years and rupees 73,205 in 4 years. So the per rate percent per annum is. So the solution, we have A equal to P into 1 plus R upon 100 to the power T. So that is the formula to find the amount. So let P be the amount and R be the rate on it, then 66,550 is equal to 1 plus R upon 100 to the power 3. So that is 73,205 is equal to P into 1 plus R upon 100 to the power 4. So after dividing it by 2 by 1, we will have 73,205 upon 66,550 equal to 1 plus r upon 100. So when you simplify this, you can obtain the value of r and it will come out to be 10%. So the option correct here is option A. Question number 6. The compound interest and the amount obtained on a certain sum of money is rupees 820 and 8,820 respectively for after 2 years. If the rate of interest compounded yearly, then the rate of interest is. So let us have a look over the solution. Compound interest for 2 years is given to be 820 rupees and the amount received is 8820. So the time is given to be 2 years. So the principal will be the amount received minus the compound interest, that is the 8000 rupees is principal amount. So now according to the formula we have A equal to amount equal to principal into 1 plus r upon 100 to the power t. So that is equal to 8820 equal to 8000 times of 1 plus r upon 100 whole square. So r is to be found here. So when you simplify this, you will have 1 plus r upon 100 whole square equal to 8820 upon 8000. So when you simplify this, taking a root to both sides, you will have 1 plus r upon 100 equal to 21 upon 20. So when you simplify this further, you can obtain the value of r, which is 5. So the option correct here will be option D. Question number 7. A sum of rupees 7500 amounts to rupees 8748 after 2 years at a certain compound interest rate per annum. What will be the simple interest on the same sum for 5 years at the double the earlier interest rate? So given A is equal to 8748 and principal is 7500 and time is 2 years. And we know that amount is equal to principal into 1 plus r upon 100 to the 1 to the power t. So it will be 8748 equal to 7500 times of 1 plus r upon 100 to the power 2. So when you simplify this further, taking root both sides, you will have 27 upon 25 equal to 1 plus r upon 100. So that means r is equal to 8%. And now p is 7500 and r is 8 times 2, that is 16%, and t is 5%. So what is the simple interest? So the simple interest is given by principal into rate into time. We know the formula. So it will be 7500, that is principal, into rate 16 into time, that is 5. It will be divided by 100, so it will be 6000 rupees. So the option correct here is option B. Question number 8. If the amount on a certain principal in 3 years at 12% rate of interest compounded annually is 12,000, what will be the amount in rupees after 4th year? So the concept that will be used here is principal for 4th year is amount till 3 year. So the solution now, so recall the formula, that is A equal to principal into 1 plus r upon 100 to the power t. So the amount is equal to 12,000 into 1 plus 120 upon 100 to the power 1. So amount is equal to 120 into 112, that is 13,440. So now 12,000 is equal to principal into 1 plus r upon 100 to the power 3, which is equation number 1. And the amount A is equal to 1 plus r upon 100 to the power 4, which is equation number 2. Now dividing 2 by 1, we get amount equal to 12,000 into 1 plus r upon 100. So which is 12,000 into 1 plus 0.12 equal to 13,440. Therefore, the amount after 4th year is 13,440. So the option correct here is option C. Question number 9. In how many months will rupees 8,000 yield rupees 2,648 as compound interest at 20% per annum compounded semi-annually? So the concept here is amount formula in case of compounded semi-annually. So we have seen this concept in the theory sessions. So when the compounded is semi-annually, then we double the time. So it will be A equal to P plus 1 plus R upon 2. Rate will become R upon 2 and time will become twice. So the new formula will be A plus P times 1 plus R upon 200 to the power 2t. So principal is 8800 and the compound interest is 2648. So the amount will be equal to principal plus compound interest, that is 10,648. So 10,648 is equal to 8,000 times 1 plus 10 upon 100 to the power 2t. So 10,648 upon 8,000 is equal to 11 upon 10 to the power 2t. That is 2t equal to 3. So t is going to be 18 months. So the option correct here is option A. Question number 10. Compound interest on rupees 30,000 at 7% per annum for n years is 4,347 rupees. So the value of n is. So the solution, P equal to 30,000 and A is equal to 30,000 plus 4,347, which is 34,347, and R is 7%. And as we know, A is equal to P times of 1 plus R upon 100 to the power T. So amount is 34,347 and principal is 38,000. So 1 plus 7 upon 100 to the power T. And when you simplify this, you will have 107 upon 100 to the power T equal to 34,347 upon 30,000. So when you simplify this further, you will get 107 upon 100 to the power T, and this can be written as 107 upon 100 to whole square. Now you can compare both the sides and you can see T is equal to 2. Therefore the value of n is 2. So the option correct here is option B. Question number 11. What will be the difference in compound interest on sum of rupees 7,800 at 8% for 1 year when the interest is paid yearly and half yearly? So let us have a look over the solution. So amount is equal to principal into 1 plus R upon 100 to the power T. That is the actual formula, but here it is given the compounded half yearly. Interest is compounded half yearly. So R will become R upon 2 and T will become 2T. So in this case, A1, the formula will be A equal to P into 1 plus R upon 200 to the power 2T. So in case of annually, A1 will be equal to P into 1 plus R upon 100 and A1 equal to 7800 into 108 upon 100. So A1 will be equal to 8424. So in the case of half yearly, A2 is equal to principal into 1 plus R upon 200 to the power 2T. So A2 is equal to 7800 into 1 plus 4 upon 100 whole square. So A2 will be equal to 8436.48. The difference in compound interest is equal to 8336.48 minus 8424, which is equal to 12.48. So the option correct here is option C. Question number 12. The difference between the compound interest and the simple interest on rupees X at 11% per annum for 2 years is rupees 60.50. What is the value of X? So the simple interest, compound interest minus simple interest is equal to PR square upon 100 whole square. So this formula is already studied by us in the theory sessions. So according to the question, P into 11 upon 10,000 is equal to 60450 upon 100. So when you simplify this, you will get P equal to 5,000. So the option correct here is option D. Question number 13. A sum of rupees 20,000 is invested for 15 months at the interest for 10% per annum and compounded half yearly. What is the percentage again correct to one decimal place at the end of 15 months? So the solution, rate of interest is equal to 10% per annum, and the rate of interest is equal to 5% half yearly. So interest gain in first 6 months on rupees 20,000 is equal to 5 upon 100 into 20,000, which is 1,000 rupees. And interest gain in 6 month, next 6 month is 5 upon 100 into 20,000 plus 5 upon 100 into 1,000, which is 1,050 rupees. So rate of interest for the last 3 months will be 5 upon 2 equal to 2.5%. So interest gained in last 3 months will be equal to 2.5 upon 100 into 20,000 plus 2.5 upon 100 into 1,000 plus 2.5 upon 100 into 1050. So which is equal to 551.25 rupees. So the total interest gained in 15 months is equal to 1,000 plus 1,050 plus 551.25, which is 2,601.25 rupees. So the percentage gain is given by 2601.25 upon 20,000 into 100, which is 13%. So the option correct here is option C. Question number 14. The compound interest on a certain sum invested for 2 years at 10% per annum is 1,522.50 rupees. The interest being compounded yearly, the sum is. So the solution, compound interest is equal to 1,522.50 rupees, and the rate of interest is 10% and the time is 2 years. So the compound interest will be equal to principal times of 1 plus r upon 100 to the power t minus 1. So according to the formula, compound interest is 1522.5, principal is p, and 1 plus r 100 whole square minus 1. So when you put the values, it will be 1522.5 equal to principal into 121 upon 100 minus 1. So further simplification will give you p equal to 7,250 rupees. So the option correct here is option A. Question number 15. If in 2 years at a simple interest the principal increases by 16%, what will be the compound interest earned in rupees on rupees 25,000 in 2 years at the same rate? Solution. Let the rate of interest be r%. So the simple interest earned on rupees 25,000 in 2 years will be 25,000 into 0.16, which is 4,000 rupees. So 4,000 is equal to 25,000 into r into 2 upon 100 is equal to r equal to 8%. So the compound interest in 2 years will be 25,000 into 1 plus 8 upon 100 whole square minus 25,000. So it will be 29,160 minus 25,000, which is 4,160. So the option correct here is option D. Question number 16. A simple interest on a sum of money at 10% per annum for 2 years is rupees 8,100. Compounded annually, what would be compound interest in rupees on the same sum for the same period at the same rate of interest? So let the sum of money be P, and then we know the simple interest, that is P into R into T upon 100. So it will be 8,100 is equal to P into 10 upon 2 upon 100. So P is equal to 40,500. So compound interest is equal to P into 1 plus R upon 100 whole square minus P. So put the values, P is 40,500 and 121 minus 100 upon 100. So it will be 8,505 rupees. So the option correct here is option B. Question number 17. What is the difference in rupees between compound interest earned in 1 year on a sum of rupees 10,000 at 40% per annum compounded quarterly and annually. Solution: A is equal to P plus R upon 400 to the power 40. So this is formula is changed because compound interest is compounded quarterly. So A is equal to 10,000 into 1 plus 40 upon 400 to the power 4. So A is equal to 10,000 into 11 into 11 into 11 into 11 upon 10,000. So A is going to be 14,641. So the compound interest will be 4,641. So the difference between the compound interest is 4,641 minus 4,000, which is 641. So the option correct here is option D. Question number 18. What is the difference in rupees in compound interest earned in 1 year on a sum of rupees 25,000 at 20% per annum, compounded semi-annually and annually? For annually, principal P is equal to 25,000, rate is 20%, and time is 1 year. And for semi-annually, principal will be 25,000, and the rate, semi-annually rate will be R upon 2, that is 10%. And the time T for semi-annually will be 1 into 2, that is 2.5 years. The compound interest annually will be 25,000 times 1 plus 20 upon 100 minus 25,000, which is 5,000 annually. And the compound interest semi-annually will be 25,000 into 1 plus 10 upon 100 whole square minus 25,000. So semi-annually will be 5,250. So difference between the compound interest earned in 1 year will be 250 rupees. So the option correct here is option B. Question number 19. What is the compound interest earned on rupees 80,000 at 40% per annum in 1 year compounded quarterly? So we know that the formula for compound interest is P into 1 plus R upon 100 to the power n minus P. So P here is 80,000, R is 40% per annum, and n is 1 year. So there is interest compounded quarterly. So P will be 80,000, R will be 10%. That means you divide it by 4 and n will be 4. So putting these values, you will have compound interest equal to 80,000 times 1 plus 10 upon 100 to the power 4 minus 80,000. So compound interest is equal to 37,128. So the option correct here is option B. So thank you very much. That would be all for this lecture, and I'll see you in the next class with more questions on compound interest. Thank you.